All right, guys, it's week 5. We are facing the Washington Commanders at Washington this time. I know we faced them last year here at Soldier Field, but we are actually on the road this time on Thursday Night Football. So a bit of a short week for the Chicago Bears. And obviously with all the sort of drama that's been happening throughout the week, I'll get into that in a little bit. Obviously, this is not the most ideal situation for the Chicago Bears, especially since we are 0-4. And last week was our best shot to at least get a W and go 1-3. But of course, like the Bears always do, we choke, we lose, and we've now lost 14 straight and could potentially lose a 15th here very easily if we don't, play right and we let the Commanders beat us, because they could. I mean, honestly, any NFL team could. We're the worst team in football right now. You could argue the Panthers, since they're also 0-4 too. Even then, with the roster that we have a much better roster on paper than we do with the Panthers, and for some reason, we are also 0-4 just like them. So guys, I'm going to go right into this with the keys of the game, which is the D-line. The keys to the game is, just one area of the field, which right now is the D-line. That's specifically the Commanders' D-line. They have a very, very, very nice D-line. Chase Young, Montez Sweat on the edge. In the interior, you got Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne. Daron Payne, remember, was one of the free agent signings, they re-signed him. Was one of the free agent signings that we would have wanted if he would have hit the open market, but instead, the Commanders franchise tagged him, so we were not able to pick him up. But nonetheless, guys, 4 studs on the defensive line, way better than what we have right now, and they can cause hell for Justin Fields if we let them. So right away, guys, protect Justin Fields. I know that I said last week most of the game plan was going to be to run the ball, which you still want to do if you can try to, but like I said, their D-line is absolutely amazing. You got Chase Young in there, who's having a resurgence year, you could say, having a year, his contract year, where his 5th year option was declined. So I believe he becomes a free agent after the season if they don't either franchise tag him or sign him to an extension. I really hope they just let him hit the free market, because I want him next year. But anyway, guys, we need to protect Justin Fields here. So extra protection, chip with the running back, use more of Roschon Johnson. Obviously, his pass blocking skills are far more superior than Khalil Herbert. And yeah, you got to protect Fields, because he can easily get sacked many times this game. Do the same thing as last week. Luke Getsy finally kind of figuring it out for us, finally being able to put together a decent offense using Fields' strengths. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the game last week. I had some things that I need to do, so I was not able to watch the full game. I was able to catch the ending of it, of course, because, I got to see the bad moments of the Bears, of course. But I don't know if Luke Getsy was running screen passes. You guys can tell me in the comments down below. But if he wasn't, that was probably the reason why we won, honestly. Maybe he stopped finally with the screen passes. But nonetheless, guys, I will give Luke Getsy his credit here for last week, calling a decent game all the way up until the 4th quarter, kind of. But Justin Fields, remember, started off 16 of 16 last week. Probably not going to happen again, but it'd be nice if we get to see a similar output as we did last week. Remember, he was, I believe, 28 of 35 for 335 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. And didn't have that interception until the very last possession of the game. So I really hope that Justin Fields can build off this and prove that he is the franchise quarterback, and most importantly, get a win here. However, there is a silver lining if we lose, which is, and this is reports coming out from, I believe, Peter King, saying that if the Bears lose this Thursday, if we drop to 0-5, Matt Eberflus could be fired. Now, I've been saying this, and obviously I'm pretty sure all you Bears fans have been saying the exact same thing. Matt Nagy. No, Matt Eberflus needs to be gone. He should have been gone already. And honestly, at this point, I don't even care if we win the next 3 in a row. I want him gone already. He has proven nothing. A defensive-minded head coach who has done nothing but nothing. Literally nothing. He's done nothing but lose, actually. That's the only thing he's pretty much good at, is losing, which is not what we brought in a head coach for. So, if that report is true, it is, tempting that we would want to lose just so we can get that man out of there. But honestly, guys, at the same time, it's not like firing our head coach would just automatically turn our season around. It's not like we'll fire, Matt Eberflus and all of a sudden we'll just win the rest of the year. It's not going to happen. Honestly, whoever is next in line, if he does get fired mid-season, which is very unlikely because we've never done that before. But if he were to get fired, let's say on Thursday or Friday or the following Monday or so, I don't think that whoever's next up in line is going to make that much more of a difference. Maybe a little bit noticeable difference, but maybe not an insane amount to where all of a sudden we're just going to become a playoff team and win the next, 8 games in a row to get a playoff spot. Not going to happen, guys. But Either way, I still want us to win, so it doesn't really matter. Potential of Matt Eberflus getting fired. I'm not going to root for the Bears losing just because there's a potential that Matt Eberflus could be fired, because it's still a long shot given the Bears have never fired a head coach mid-season. So right now, we just need to focus on this game. We need to focus on, stopping the D-line from getting insane pressure on Justin Fields, using the quick passes. Obviously, you can't really have the time. You're not going to have the same amount of time that you had against the Broncos. The Broncos didn't really sack Justin Fields all that many times. I believe they had 3 or 4 sacks, which is still a lot. But, the offensive line has been playing better as of late, and Justin Fields has had more time in the pocket. And that's more, I believe, more in the fact that we haven't faced any super great D-lines other than week 1 against the Packers. But this D-line might be the best we faced all year, guys. Remember, like I said, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, and Daron Payne. I believe Jonathan Allen is still there. I could be wrong on that, but I know for a fact that Daron Payne is still there. So they've got 3 studs for sure on the D-line. And man, that run game, I don't really know how we're going to be able to run the ball on them unless Lou Getsy has something dialed up to be able to stop, Chase Young and those 2 other guys on the D-line. But guys, this is going to be a tough one to win. It is going to be a tough one to win, but however, they don't have a great quarterback on the other side. Sam Howell has been playing decent. He's been playing decent, like serviceable, but nothing crazy. Remember, he got blown out by Buffalo, and yes, they just beat the Dolphins also, and they're a really good team, but he took 11 sacks, meaning that their offensive line is also trash too. Now, their silver lining is that they're facing our D-line, which is arguably the worst in the league. So, I would say, and especially since Sam Howell is a young quarterback who is not experienced, blitz Sam Howell. Send him hell itself. Throw the kitchen sink at him and everything that you can at this man. Force him to pass under pressure. Because if he sits back, just like any other quarterback in the NFL, guys, if any NFL quarterback has enough time in the pocket, they can dice you up. We do not have the D-line pieces to be able to send for and wait for somebody to get a sack. We don't have our 2018 defense anymore. So we're going to have to send blitzes. We're going to have to send pressure. And Matt Eberflus, man, this is your game right here. Your job is on the line. This game. This is the game where you prove it. Where you prove that you're a head coach. You can win at least a game. You had a chance last week and you blew it. But you can do exactly what you did the first half of last week, where you held Russell Wilson to 7 points. If you can hold Russell Wilson to 7 points for an entire two and a half quarters essentially of that game, you can hold Sam Howell. They do have Terry McLaurin, so you're gonna have to watch out for that. I'm not sure if Jalen Johnson is playing this game, and I believe Eddie Jackson is playing this game. But nonetheless, Terry McLaurin is one of the better wide receivers in this league. Very underrated guy. And if he had a solid quarterback, a top 10 quarterback, he'd be ranked much higher than what he is right now. He's a very good receiver, so we're going to have to watch out for him. But nonetheless, his quarterback is Sam Howell. I'm not a big believer in him just yet. I think they're 2-2 right now. They won against the Cardinals in week 1, which was barely. Then they lost to, I forgot who they lost to next. The Broncos, 35-33. That was originally a blowout, but they turned it into a shootout, and Russell Wilson got that Hail Mary off, and they couldn't get the 2-point conversion, which probably should have been called a pass interference on that 2-pointer. But the following week, they ended up getting destroyed 37-3 against the Buffalo Bills, which, like I said before, he took 11 sacks in that game. 9 or 11 sacks, I forgot which one it was, but he took a lot of sacks. And then they lost in overtime, 31-34 to the Eagles last week. Now, albeit it was a divisional game, so you can never really tell, no matter how big the disparity, the difference is between the two teams. Division games always tend to be very competitive, especially since they play each other twice a year. So basically what I'm trying to say, guys, you can't take this team really too lightly, and we can't take any team lightly anymore. I mean, we're 0-4. We're the worst team in the league, and besides us and the Panthers, we're the only winless teams in the NFL. So we got to treat every game like every team can beat us, because honestly, every team can beat us. There is no NFL team that is an easy win right now, which sucks to say, but nonetheless, guys, I do believe in the Bears. I believe that Justin Fields can build off last week. I believe that Luke Getsy may have finally figured it out, and maybe he's not perfect yet, but he's at least improving. He's showing more improvement, definitely, than his old head coach in Matt Eberflus. But, man, if Matt Eberflus can just call a defensive game like he did last week for a half, but extrapolate that through an entire game, we can come out with a victory here, guys. We really can. I don't believe in Sam Howell too much. They don't have an amazing roster. They only have, Terry McLaurin is their best player on offense. They have Brian Robinson Jr., who's a solid running back, but he's no Christian McCaffrey or, Saquon or anything like that. He's solid, but he's okay. Their defensive line is great, but their secondary is kind of garbage too. I don't really like what they have in the secondary. DJ Moore should be able to pick them apart. Do exactly what we did last week. Feed DJ Moore. The passing offense flourishes when we feed the ball to DJ Moore, when we feed the ball to Cole Kmet, also who I also saw break out last week. I believe he had 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Keep building off that. Justin Fields too. Keep building off that. Use the rollouts, the bootlegs. Obviously, since there's going to be pressure from Montez Sweat and Chase Young off the edge, and they're probably going to get there a couple times, unfortunately. You should be able to roll out, let Justin Fields use his legs, and also keep him in the pocket when he needs to. Just create time from him and feed DJ Moore the ball and run when we need to. So establish the run game also. So, obviously, guys, a lot easier said than done here. Could the Bears pull this off? Absolutely. Could we also lose? Absolutely also. However, I do feel that since Matt Eberflus's job is kind of on the line here, at least according to reports, but either way, even if that report is not true, I believe that his job is on the line regardless for this season. And like I said, guys, if we go 0-17 for whatever reason, or we end up with the number 1 overall pick, and we have to pick Caleb Williams, we're probably going to pick a new coaching staff with that. Because there's no chance in hell that Chicago is going to accept a rookie quarterback being coached by Matt Eberflus. Absolutely not. I believe that Matt Eberflus is going to want to win this game, because if he doesn't, his job is pretty much gone at this point. He's just kind of, he's already right now a dead man walking. He's pretty much already gone. But if he can at least win this game here, he can maybe keep himself alive, keep himself afloat for a little while longer. So I do believe that the Bears do actually pull off this game. I'm going to give them a final score of 27-24. A little bit of a high scoring game here, but honestly, both secondaries are really bad right now. I don't believe that, it's going to be a super high scoring game. Honestly, I'd probably go a little lower than that. Maybe like a 27-20 if I had to pick the Bears winning here. But I do believe that, honestly, we haven't been able to stop anybody on offense, or on defense. So our secondary is still banged up with Jalen Johnson. If he plays, he's probably not 100%. We are getting back Tevin Jenkins. I forgot to mention that. Actually, no, I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure on that. If we are getting Tevin Jenkins back, I really hope we do, because that'll be a huge boost to our offensive line, especially against a good Commanders D line. So there you guys have it, man. 27-24 for a Bears victory, getting our first win of the season. I hope to God it happens, and that Justin Fields once again has a good game in which he can prove and continue to prove that he is a franchise quarterback, so that we don't have to draft another quarterback next year and restart the entire cycle all over again. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Give me some score predictions, man. Do you guys think the Bears can pull this off and get our first win of the season, or do you think we're going 0-5? Let me know. Please subscribe and like, and obviously hit the bell notifications so you guys are notified when I upload a new video, and I'm out.